The US and Venezuela are exploring the possibility of restoring diplomatic relations.
Venezuela Interim President Delcy Rodriguez announced that the country's authorities are considering restoring diplomatic ties and sending a delegation to Washington to assess the status of the Venezuelan embassy, which has remained closed for several years. According to her, the Venezuelan government and the Trump administration have decided to begin a diplomatic exploratory process aimed at gradually reopening diplomatic missions in both countries. Experts note that such statements are only cautious first steps, and the nature of relations between Washington and Caracas remains fluid and can change almost daily. The US Embassy in Caracas has been closed since early 2019, when Nicolás Maduro expelled American diplomats in response to the United States recognizing opposition leader Juan Guaidó as interim president. Elliot Abrams, former special envoy for Venezuela in the first Trump administration, noted that reopening the embassy is a complex process involving not only diplomatic decisions, but also practical challenges, from the condition of the buildings in Caracas' humid climate to security issues and potential legal consequences. According to him, the potential restoration of diplomatic relations raises the question of whether Washington will actually recognize Rodriguez as the legitimate head of state. If Delcy Rodriguez, appointed by Maduro's vice president, is recognized as the legitimate interim president, does that mean recognition of Nicolás Maduro as the legitimate president? And if so, does that affect his prosecution and possible immunity as head of state? Abrams said. A State Department spokesperson reported that diplomats and security personnel from the Venezuelan Affairs section at the US Embassy in Colombia arrived in Caracas on Friday for an initial assessment of the feasibility of a phased resumption of operations.